What's up, everybody? Welcome back to How It's Done. Got a quick and easy one for you today. It's how to replace a garbage disposal. So this guy right here, we've tried resetting the button on the bottom, made sure that there's power here. It is jammed up. It is locked up. A lot of times you can use this tool right here that it comes with, and there's a little Allen key in the bottom you can put this into, like that, and then you can turn it, and that'll free it up. But this is solidly locked in place. So what's happening is we turn the power on, you hear a humming noise for a second or two, and then it trips this little reset. So this needs to be completely replaced. We're going to show you how to do that really quick and easy today on How It's Done. All right, so we've got our new disposal here. We're going back with the exact same thing that they have currently installed in place. You basically want to look at the size, the brand, if it's got one of these quick connect disposal hookups, I guess, collar hookups, whatever you want to call it. That's going to make it real easy to swap out because you're not going to need to change this piece up here, which is it's the collar that connects to the sink and connects your garbage disposal to the sink. Basically, what you'll do, since we're not doing it in this one, I'll just walk you through it. It's got this little ring on the side here. You see that little tension ring right here? This is going to pull off, and then that'll allow this to be removed. And then this piece will slide down through here. You'll put some plumber's putty around it. And the tricky part is while that's there, you then have to slide this back on, hold that in place. And what I will typically do is stick my hand in here and then feed this ring and clip it in place. Then what you're going to do is you're going to tighten these screws down. It'll push this plate, it'll pinch the basin right there, and it'll push the plumber's putty out from around this as much as it can while still getting a good seal. That prevents the water from leaking through. But since we don't have to do that here, because, well, it's already installed, and it's not that it's leaking, it's just that the garbage disposal doesn't work. So what we do is we take this little tool that it came with, and we can start to loosen it with that. But before we do that, we're going to disconnect the drain line from the dishwasher and the actual drain line from the water from the sink. So we'll just loosen the two screws on this, loosen one screw on this and pull it off. And then all we'll have to do is turn this and the whole thing will come off. All right, so everything is disconnected. The last thing we're going to do is go ahead and unplug that. Slide our little tool in the top. Start loosening. All right, there we go. Then we can take the rest by hand and just turn it that last little bit. And the whole thing should just come right down. Easy peasy. So here's the bottom view of the old one. Like you can, that's a little reset button I was telling you about. This is where you put the Allen key. This is your cord. And this is the new one. So we're going to use the cord from the old one. You can buy them with the cords attached. For some reason, in this particular brand, they're actually less expensive if you buy them with the cord. I don't understand it, but that's the way it is. But they don't seem to be readily available in the store that way. So we're going to go ahead and take this cover plate off of both of them. All right, so the cover plates are off. So now we'll just undo these wire nuts and we can actually twist this guy off and out of there. You don't really even need to take the lock nut off. You can just be twisted and he comes out like that. So I can do this with one hand. Doesn't look like it. All right, so we got the cable fed into the new one, or the cord rather, and we're going to make up the ground. We're just going to twist these wires around the zinc coated screw, which is the green one, and the white will go to the neutral and the black will go to the hot. If you're not familiar with these wires and how to tell which one the neutral and which one the hot is, we'll see if I can get this to show up. The neutrals always have the texture to them. I'm not sure if that's going to show up well. Oh, there we go. So we'll see, but see how it's got kind of the ridges on them? That's how you know it's the neutral, the white. And the black wire, or the power, or hot, or whatever you want to call it, is going to be smooth, with the exception of that little ridge where the two were pulled apart. So, see how that's smooth? That's how you know that's the hot. The other tell, oftentimes the black will have the markings on it, or the hot will have the markings on it. As you can see here, if it'll focus. Well, the markings are on that, and then the other side has the ridges. So, wire labeled side is the hot. You could also trace it out to the plug end. And if the ground is down, like this, going to be facing, plugging into the wall, neutral is on the left, hot is on the right. So you can look at it like this and say, okay, neutral, got the ridges, hot has the markings. So go ahead and make those up, put this cover plate back on, and we'll put it back up. All right, so we've got this all made up. Last thing we want to do before we install this, because it does have the drain line from the dishwasher, we need to knock out this little knockout right here so that the water from the dishwasher can go through. There we go. See if you can see that better. So in order to do that, all we're going to do is take a flathead, feed it down in there. And then once you've knocked it out, you have a clear path into the disposal drain. Just make sure that you pull the little knockout out of there before you put it back on, because it's going to be a pain in the butt to pull that out once this is in place. So yeah, now we'll just put this underneath there and tighten it in place. All right, so we've got it on there hand tight, so we're going to put this little tool in here and tighten it up the rest of the way. And we'll just put these back into place here and put this guy back on here. We'll tighten everything down and make sure that that's on there right. Okay, slide this guy up and we'll tighten him in there. And then once all that's done, we will plug it back in. You want to make sure you're plugging it in the same plug that you unplugged it from, because a lot of the times one half will be switched, one half won't because of the dishwasher, or sometimes they'll both be switched but by different switches. But yeah, so now we're going to go ahead, test this out, turn on the water. And then last but not least, put the little cap in there, let the basin fill with water. And we'll just check underneath, make sure we don't have any leaks. Sometimes when you're messing with reattaching it to the collar, some stuff could shift and it might start to leak. So always test for leaks. As you can see, this job really only takes about 15 to 30 minutes if you get the right parts and plan your job accordingly. Not super duper hard. Pretty much anybody can do it, I would say. The collar part does take a little bit more time. The two biggest contributing factors to time, I would say, would be if you have to do the collar and just how much stuff you have underneath the sink. Here it's pretty open and clear, so went pretty smooth. So yeah, thanks for joining us today on How It's Done. Like and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you next time.